Tonight on CTV News at 6. There are plenty of them.
I asked for a 5-year road reconstruction strategy, a spring thaw response team, and modernizing the pothole reporting.
How is the city of Sault Ste. Marie going to repair all these potholes? Moving forward.
We'll be busy here for the next decade, but it's really exciting. It's fun. The dominoes are all starting to fall now.
What's the latest on plans to develop this property in Sudbury's East End? And underwater.
As everyone can see, we have very, very high water levels. There's a lot of damage done here as well.
Flooding is impacting more people in Greater Sudbury.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday. With pothole season in full swing, goals of improvement were brought to Sault Ste. Marie City Council. And as CTV's Corey Nordstrom explains, new technology and more funding could help smooth out the bumpy roads.
Since spring began, pothole issues have dominated many conversations in Sault Ste. Marie. This week, Councillor Angela Caputo sought out more information from staff on the plans to better understand and address the concern on city roads.
I asked for a 5-year road reconstruction strategy, a spring thaw response team, and modernizing the pothole reporting. And those three things, I think, really could use some improvement. The plan would give us a really clear direction, which I think staff needs.
Caputo believes improving communication is a strong need at the city level, noting that the reporting system could use an overhaul. Local Brent Rubel says he has the solution with a website he created called SpotFix.
All you have to do is take a picture with your phone and upload that picture to spotfix.ca. And the rest is basically done for you. So from that picture, the AI extracts the GPS coordinates, puts it on a map. It estimates the size, the severity, the depth of the pothole, writes the description of the pothole.
Sault Mayor Matthew Shoemaker says that more than communication or reporting changes, the biggest difference maker comes from more money. He notes that the city spends between $9 and $12 million per year on road resurfacing. The number needed to bring all city streets into a good condition is estimated at $30 million per year.
That's a $20 million gap. That didn't develop overnight. That developed over the course of a generation of underfunding. And we added more to the snow removal budget last year. And of course, snow removal directly impacts the condition of the roads in the spring. So hopefully there will be some improvements there. But it's going to take time.
Caputo says her motion is about finding efficiencies that she hopes will lead to better results and more faith in the city's repair efforts. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Sudbury couple says it has lost more than $90,000 due to fraudulent activity on their Scotiabank accounts. They say scammers took everything, and now they have been leaning on friends and family for support. CTV's Lindsay Ellick has more.
Dylan Gilbert Leduc took over ownership of Morin Pools and Spas with his wife in January of this year. He says from business to personal, all of his accounts are with Scotiabank, and on March 31st, they lost everything.
We had a bunch of missed calls from the Scotiabank customer service line that we confirmed on our debit card with the phone number. At this point, a bunch of money was already gone from our business accounts, personal accounts.
Later in the day, they decided to answer one of the calls.
So we initially refused to give any information to the person on the phone, just saying that we would go to our branch and deal with our branch advisor. And in person, just knowing there's lots of scams and fraudulent activity out there. After a few return calls of them confirming their name, their business ID, and confirming the phone number, and even us calling back from the same number, we were able to kind of just, at this point, we had nothing more to lose.
You have to be aware that the fraudsters have the ability to make any phone number show up on your call display. So if you're not aware of that, then you're automatically at risk.
Gilbert Leduc says there have been no offers for mortgage deferrals or credit increases and zero support from Scotiabank to continue running the business and feeding his family at home.
They've been giving us 50-50 shots of getting our money back, even stating they know where the money is. They've been in contact with the bank that has the money. They were able to trace everything, to now they just have been saying they don't even know if they can get it back or do anything to support us.
CTV News reached out to Scotiabank for comment and received this statement, which says in part, Scotiabank cannot comment on any individual client matters for privacy reasons. The bank will never ask clients to disclose their PIN, password, or one-time code on a call they didn't initiate. The couple says they are sharing their story in hopes of holding the bank accountable. Meantime, they say friends and family have stepped up to support them to be able to operate the business as usual. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
There is a lot of high water and flooding in and around Lake Panache in Greater Sudbury, and community members are worried about all the damage they've sustained. CTV's Madison Merrier has that story.
Some boathouses and docks are floating away while others have been deeply submerged in water.
There's a lot of damage done on the lake this year. Clearly, as everyone can see, we have very, very high water levels. There's a lot of damage done here as well. It's very dangerous to be out on the lake right now. There's a lot of debris floating around. There's buildings, there's logs, all sorts of things.
I had a neighbor on the lake that was driving by with his boat just by happen chance, and drove by and saw my huge dock. It's 40 feet long and 16 feet wide, so it's a really heavy dock. And he said it was floating probably about 50 feet away from my property, going down the lake. So I'm also in trouble.
While residents are warning boat owners to be cautious on the lake, there aren't many ways to get a boat in the water. Many boat launches and docks are flooded or damaged, and a substantial number of properties on the lake are only accessible by boat.
One of the bigger problems is that on both main docks, on the east end and our west end in our area, our docks aren't capable of launching boats.
It's devastating for people that want to get out to camp and enjoy the weekends, and you simply just cannot get there. There's no way to launch your boat. There's no way, unless you're going to swim across the lake, there's simply no way to get out there. Those who have boathouses on Panache aren't in much better shape. In some instances, water levels are so high, boats are in the rafters of the boathouses.
This is unprecedented, the amount of water we have this year. It's unheard of. So there's nothing anybody can do at this point until the water comes down to actually see how much damage has been done.
However, the community has banded together to provide updates to one another with hopes that the shared information will warn boaters of the possible debris in the water. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
And flood warnings continue around the region. The Matagami Region Conservation Authority is extending its flood warning specifically around the Matagami River to May 13th. Meanwhile, the flood watch for Porcupine Lake and River, Kamoskosia Lake and Town Creek has been lifted. The MNR saying tonight there's a flood warning for parts of the Bracebridge, Minden, Parry Sound District. French River and Pickerel River have flood warnings, and Severn River, including Sparrow Lake, are under a flood watch. Now let's talk about the weather. Another below seasonal temperature day, but many people are still watching the water. To tell us more, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
Well, Tony, no serious precipitation in the forecast, but nuisance precipitation. Can I use that term? We've got flurries and we've got some shower activity, but nothing significant right now, at least according to Environment Canada. Our systems map, of course, according to Environment Canada, showing that system moving with that swath right across northeastern Ontario. You can see, well, the showers in green and the snow, whitish, grayish, and we'll have some details on that and a lot more. Mother's Day won't be the best for moms. Sorry about that. Hopefully that changes. Our current temperatures coming up just minutes away, Tony.
Thanks for that, Rick. It's now called the Kingsway Employment District. Still to come on CTV News at 6. Activity is underway on a piece of property in Sudbury's East End. First, we are heading to downtown Timmins and a look at Algonquin Boulevard. This live webcam is courtesy of the City of Timmins. It's 4 Celsius. We are back after this commercial break.
See it happen. Send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Work is finally progressing on a large swath of land in the east end of Greater Sudbury. It's property that a local developer has been attempting to build up for at least 15 years. We get the details from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
Crews set concrete for a new sidewalk along this future street. It's just some of the activity underway at the KED Business Park.
We'll be busy here for the next decade, but it's really exciting. It's fun. The dominoes are all starting to fall now.
The 180-acre property has been owned by Dario Zulich since 2008. He says he saw the potential then and still does today.
The city has to grow the east end, and we're poised for growth right now. And so I've always believed in that. And now it's coming together. I'm really excited. The interest has been outstanding.
The property has a rocky past. In 2017, it was chosen by Greater Sudbury as the spot for the future municipal arena until 2022 when the city pulled out of the development. The city did come on board to partially fund the construction of the street to be called Vanguard Drive, saying in an email it will become part of a collector road.
Because this will someday connect up onto LaSalle. And so the city is taking a longer term vision of the east end of town.
Dancor Construction was recently announced as the preferred construction partner. Zulich touts the KED Business Park as fully serviced, although those services have yet to be added. 2 businesses have signed on. Gateway Casino confirms it purchased land last June, while a ribbon cutting happened last August for Waste Management.
Waste Management will be starting this summer, and as is the casino, they're on the process of doing a plan. There's a lot of planning that has to happen before actually the shovel's in the ground, but there's plans going on a number of fronts in here.
Zulich says that land for Waste Management is further up this new street, while the property for Gateway Casino will be along the Kingsway. With thousands of vehicles using this road daily, it will be a highly visible site. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Now, a story about a grieving mother in Sudbury who lost her son to an overdose in mid-March. She says he was caught in the grips of addiction and was found dead during the big storm in March. CTV's Alan Everson reports.
31-year-old Corey Gregoire Lacroix was found dead of an opioid overdose in the Energy Court encampment March 17th. His mother, Monique, talked to us about his journey with addiction, which started when Corey was 15 and was prescribed oxycodone for sciatic nerve pain in his lower back.
They run after a high they'll never get again, but they keep on trying. And then from there it went to cocaine, eventually crack, fentanyl.
She says her family did everything it could, including getting Corey into treatment. After a relapse, he stole credit cards from his family and racked up $12,000 in charges.
It's an awful, awful disease. Awful. It takes away their souls, their morals, their values. It leaves them empty.
Monique has worked as an outreach worker for the past 7 years.
It's not their fault. It could have been a bad choice. You know, a lot of it stems from trauma also. So we need more rehabs, more resources.
In a statement, the Go Give Project says, in part, we've seen a noticeable increase in suspected drug poisonings and drug-related deaths in our community over the past several weeks. And it's been difficult for many people across the sector. Our thoughts are with the families, friends, and loved ones impacted by these losses. It goes on to say, we do believe the province should be taking a closer look at the current crisis and considering stronger emergency-level responses to help address what communities are facing right now. Gregoire says because of what happened to Corey, she has a message that may seem harsh but true.
For addicts, you only have 2 choices, which are you get clean or you die trying, because there is no in between.
Gregoire says people need to show support for people living with addiction, even though it's very difficult to understand. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Two manufacturers are getting a boost from the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation today. Northern Trust will be using more than $125,000 to update equipment. The company, located in Moonbeam, manufactures wooden structures like roof trusses, floor systems, and wood sheds. Also receiving funding is Braze Metalworks, a newly minted business in Kapuskasing. It is getting $200,000 for new equipment. It is another blow to Ontario's auto industry. Reports that plans for a multi-billion-dollar EV and battery complex are now on hold tonight. Both federal and provincial politicians say a plan is needed to help. CTV's Siobhan Morris has that story.
The largest auto investment in Canada's history.
It was announced in 2024 to much fanfare. A $15 billion electric vehicle and battery complex for Honda in Alliston, adding 1,000 jobs. Now the automaker is reportedly pulling the plug over slumping U.S. demand for EVs. That's according to Japanese media reports. Honda Canada tells CTV News it has nothing to report at this time.
What conditions, if any, are attached to this deal with Honda, and what is this premier going to do to fight for those jobs?
Ontario's Minister of Economic Development stresses no money has flowed to Honda.
We continue to have faith that they tell us they're here to stay.
Vic Fideli says it is a trying time for the auto industry.
You've got Trump tariffs, you've got all of the other uncertainties, so we understand these pauses that companies are taking.
Similar language from the federal finance minister.
The word that they used was to put that on hold.
François-Philippe Champagne acknowledges the transition away from gas-powered cars hasn't been a smooth ride.
You've seen a number of these projects being delayed to deal with market situation. I think it's more reflection about where the electric vehicle market is today.
But with Brampton's Stellantis plant sitting idle, GM ending production of its all-electric delivery van in Ingersoll.
I'm not sure I feel the Premier has a plan.
The federal Conservative leader also unimpressed.
What we're seeing from Mark Carney is not a plan, but an illusion.
The Prime Minister didn't mention Honda, but says his government is working with automakers.
Helping them reposition, reinvest, supporting workers there. We'll continue to do what's necessary, including getting the right deal that's in Canada's interest.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
All right, back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Rick.
Okay, Tony, we've got some mixed precipitation in our forecast right now. We've got some flurries and we've got some showers, and we'll get to that momentarily with our current conditions. Right across the northeast in Moosonee, sunshine at 4 degrees. Cochrane, cloud cover at 4. We've got some light snow in Timmins at 4 as well. Some sleet in Kapuskasing at 3 degrees. Chapleau, overcast skies at 3. Wawa 1, cloudy skies, cloudy, and 4 in the Sioux. Meanwhile, Parry Sound down 69, sunny skies and 5 degrees. Nice drive there. Some sun and cloud North Bay. Temiskaming Shores 8. Kirkland Lake at 6 as well. 6 in Greater Sudbury, 5 at Espanola, 6 in Elliott Lake, and 5 in Gore Bay, all under cloudy conditions. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast. Pick of the day and a lot more coming up, including a nice story on Montreal Canadiens fans getting it all together in time for tonight's big game. Tony, back to you.
How true. Thanks, Rick. There are several concerns next on CTV News at 6. Investigators find that OpenAI violated Canada's privacy laws in its ChatGPT model. And the cruise ship that's carrying the hantavirus is heading for the Canary Islands. The cruise ship at the center of a deadly Hanta outbreak is on the move. This morning, 3 passengers with suspected infections were airlifted to the Netherlands for medical care. They were transported from the ship to Cape Verde in western South Africa before taking off by plane. The ship has nearly 150 people on board, including 4 Canadians. Spain's health minister says the ship will dock at Tenerife, the largest of the Canary Islands, within 3 days. The World Health Organization now says there are 8 cases on board. Meantime, a rare strain of hantavirus has been found in patients linked to the outbreak. South Africa's health ministry says the Andy strain was identified in 2 people who were transported from the ship. That strain can be transmitted between humans, a rare occurrence because hantavirus usually spreads by inhaling contaminated rodent droppings. A funeral is being held today for Sergeant Brandon Malcolm, an Ontario provincial police officer killed in a motorcycle crash while on duty last week. Thousands of police officers lined the route as the procession made its way from a funeral home in Oshawa earlier this morning to the Coburg Community Centre, where the service is being held. The 33-year-old died after a crash on Highway 401 east of Toronto. The circumstances are still under investigation. Big news for the Canadian aviation industry. Airbus Canada has announced a big deal to supply AirAsia with 150 of its Canadian-made A220 jets. Prime Minister Mark Carney was on hand for the announcement and to thank AirAsia's boss for choosing Canada.
Canada is once again building big at home and creating reliable partnerships abroad, including very much with ASEAN. So Tony, thank you. Thank you for the trust you're placing in Canadian workers, in Quebec, in Mirabel. You're choosing the best at exactly the right time.
Airbus makes the narrow-body planes in Mirabel, Quebec, just outside of Montreal. The multi-billion-dollar agreement with the low-cost Malaysian airline marks the largest single-firm order in the manufacturer's history. An investigation into ChatGPT, the popular AI assistant most of us use, found that the company that created it violated privacy laws across the country. CTV's Judy Trin has more on the damning indictment from Canada's privacy watchdogs.
After an investigation that took 3 years, privacy commissioners from the federal government, BC, Alberta, and Quebec found that OpenAI violated privacy laws across the country as it developed its ChatGPT technology.
Our joint investigation highlights the importance of prioritizing privacy in the development, deployment, and ongoing evolution of artificial intelligence.
The joint investigation looked at ChatGPT's 3.5 and 4.0 models and found a lack of accountability. The models over-collected personal information. Users weren't asked for consent, false information was found in searches, and users couldn't correct the info.
To initially train ChatGPT, OpenAI scraped vast amounts of personal information from publicly accessible websites. This was widespread and indiscriminate.
Concerns about the lack of safeguards around ChatGPT have made headlines following the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting that showed OpenAI didn't flag troubling interactions to police. The company is facing several class action lawsuits in Canada and the U.S., but government regulation is lagging. Canada's privacy laws were developed more than 20 years ago.
We have also called on our government to regulate AI uses. The kind of regulation would require companies like OpenAI to evaluate the risks of this technology and to mitigate those risks before launch.
OpenAI was collecting sensitive information, such as health data and political views. The privacy watchdog says the company did fix some of those issues in later versions of its ChatGPT. The federal government is in the process of drafting new AI legislation, but for now, it's relying on private companies to police themselves. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
There's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Mixed precipitation, Tony. I've been harping on that for the last little while. We've got some flurries. We've got some showers in northeastern Ontario, according to Environment Canada. But that could change just in time for Mother's Day, we hope, because right now the forecast isn't the best for Mom. We'll keep a close eye on that as well. You can see all that precipitation moving in. Overnight, chance of sleet in Greater Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, chance of showers, chance of sleet in Timmins, Temiskaming Shores, more of the same. North Bay at 30% as well. Meanwhile, Moosonee, chance of flurries, chance of sleet in Caphurst, Wawa, chance of sleet, chance of showers, Gore Bay, Parry Sound, just a few clouds. Now let's have a look at some of those 7-day numbers to keep you amused and entertained. The Sudbury Nickel Belt, chance of sleet tomorrow at 7. More of the same on Friday and Saturday, 10 and 12 year highs. Chance of showers on Mother's Day, dommage. 12 degrees there. Monday, Tuesday should be a lot nicer. Sun and cloud both days at 11 and 12 degrees. So again, we're moving on up to some better weather come Monday and Tuesday. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, Chance of showers tomorrow at 7. Chance of sleet for a couple of days, 8 and 9, your daytime highs Friday, Saturday. Sunday, chance of showers, 30% at 8. Then Monday, Tuesday, just like Greater Sudbury, 8 and 12 degrees, your highs, sun and cloud both days. Timmins Cochrane campus casing, chance of sleet for no less than 5 consecutive days. Count them down. Your highs 6, 10, 12, and 9 degrees. Tuesday, you finally get a break. Sun and cloud, 11 degrees. But again, Mother's Day in Timmins Cochrane campus casing, 40% chance of sleet. Not good. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake. Here we go. Chance of sleet for 3 consecutive days at 60%, 40%. And again, we've got showers on Mother's Day. So your temperatures 7, 10, and 12 with the chance of sleet. 10 degrees on Mother's Day with the chance of showers. Then we've got the sunshine Monday, Tuesday, 10 and 12 degrees. Again, both days still below normal. You're normal at this time of the year, pretty well across Northeastern Ontario. 15, teetering on 16 degrees. North Bay, West Nipissing, we've got chance of sleet tomorrow at 7, more of the same on Friday, 11. Saturday, chance of sleet once again at 12. 12 degrees on Mother's Day, chance of showers. Monday, Tuesday, 12 degrees, both days, sun and clouds. So you'll have to wait. Sorry about Mother's Day, Mom. But again, we've got some sun and cloud coming up Monday, Tuesday. Let's have a look now at our pick of the day, or picks of the day. Beautiful Eagles. I'm a sucker for the Eagles. Ariana Menard, great picks here at the Elliott Lake Dump. Of course, they're scavengers, so they're looking for something to eat. Take a look at that picture right there. That picture would sink 1,000 ships. Hey, we've got a great pick coming up and a lot more on Montreal Canadiens and their fans getting into playoff hockey beginning this evening. That's after the break. We've got a lot to talk about tonight on Ask an Expert. My guest is Dawson Seeley from Sudbury Windows and Doors, coming off the home show. You're very busy. We've got a lot to talk about in terms of, well, identical key entries into homes. Very, very important, and you've got some fine product to talk about.
Yes, thanks for having me, Rick. Today we're talking about Weiser locks and your home entry doors. So the beautiful thing about Weiser locks is we can key all your entryways alike. So your front door, garage door, side door, with Weiser locks, we can key them all alike. So you're using that one key to get in any entrance inside of your actual home. And on top of that, with the actual lock, it goes through the frame of your polar bear door with your magnetic weather seals and your 3-fin jam seal. We actually put a security plate on the back too. So when that Weiser lock, the deadbolt's coming through the actual jam of the door, it's going through a security plate as well, making sure that your home is nice and secure.
Extra protection. I've got a Weiser lock and I love it. The benefits of window installation in a warm zone. This is why I came to work today, to find out more. Tell me all about it.
For sure, Rick. So window installation in the warm zone. So when we install a window and we install it on site, we can bend aluminum capping to the exterior of the home. That allows us to move the window and recess it inside the home a little bit more. And what we do is we recess that in because we're bringing it into the warm zone. It's kind of like standing in a doorway in the winter. Stand at the very edge of the doorway, that cold breeze you feel, right? Step back into that doorway or that entranceway. It's a lot warmer. We do the same thing with the window. Make that window ledge just a little bit smaller, bring that window in just a bit, and it really helps the retention of the heat inside of the home and keeping off moisture that is created by condensation on the window, because the window's not as cold being on the front of the home, just recessed. And it's only a little bit, but sometimes that makes a big difference.
That's why Dawson continues to make me a smarter man around the house. Now, people have projects that they're looking at this spring and summer. How do they go about paying for things? I mean, we've got financing, we've got amortization periods. What's your best advice for people looking to spread that cash around for a very important upgrade?
Oh, that's a great question, Rick. So what we actually are looking at is homeowners and financing, and sometimes we're looking at amortization rates or timeframes up to 240 months.
Wow.
When you're looking at actual financing and how long, you get 0% financing for a year or two, right? But it's financed over 25 years. Is that really worth it? Or are there better options financed over 5 years, where when you're done paying at 5 years at 8%, you're actually finished paying for the product? What works better for you? Making sure that you're actually discussing the proper financing options with somebody inside of your home selling you products. Are you paying more for a product to get 0% financing? Or are you getting a better product and able to pay it off in the right amount of time that works best for you as a homeowner? So definitely understand the financing, as nowadays sometimes there's financing options that look good at first until you read the fine print, and I've seen that in a couple of situations. So making sure to just go through it all is a great idea as a homeowner.
Guys are busy in the back. He's Dawson Seeley, Sudbury Windows and Doors. This is Ask an Expert. For more information, check out CTV News Northern Ontario.ca.
When a Cochrane family faced cancer, strangers stepped in to help, changing their lives for the better. Today, as Hope Air marks its 40th anniversary, the Lalonde family is thanking the charity for support that helped them through their daughter's recovery. CTV's Lydia Chubak tells us more.
In 2024, at age 15, Diamond Lalonde of Cochrane was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma. She and her family moved to Toronto for 5 months so she could access treatment. Ronald McDonald House provided them with a place to stay, where they weathered the storm until the day Diamond got to ring the bell. But Diamond's journey did not end there. Follow-up treatments were in Toronto, and Diamond's mother, Tracy, thought they'd have to fly commercially. That's when the Lalondes learned about Hope Air, a charity that provides free flights, accommodation, ground transportation, and meal vouchers for patients who must travel for medical care.
It's honestly like they were rolling out the red carpet. I said, I feel like I'm a celebrity. We have our own private plane. And then we find out Uber comes in. They pay for our accommodation. They gave us money for rides. They gave us money for food. Like, we came to Toronto, our first trip, and didn't have to worry about a thing except her.
Hope Air is now celebrating its 40th anniversary, and its CEO says the milestone is a chance to reflect and recognize the need for its services isn't going away.
Primarily, it's funding from private sector, very generous corporations or individuals or foundations. Those are the ones that are primarily funding our work. And, the great possibility is that if we can find that partnership with the Government of Ontario, it will allow us to create more awareness for the work of Hope Air, reach more families who need help.
Last year, Hope Air helped more than 3,000 patients across Northern Ontario who needed financial assistance to get to medical appointments. Timmins and District Hospital officials say 117 patients in its region received support from Hope Air.
We're so beyond grateful. And like my mom always says, it's truly, truly been our saving grace. It's lifted that financial burden off our shoulders so much.
Last year, Hope Air officials say missed or delayed appointments dropped by 77% when patients had their assistance. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Ontario is lowering its colorectal cancer screening age amid growing evidence that it is now a disease more frequently found in younger Canadians. New guidelines released by Cancer Care Ontario recommends lowering the cancer screening age from 50 to 45. These changes come amid growing evidence that people under 50 are more than twice as likely to be diagnosed with the disease than previous generations. Changes are expected to come into effect July 1st. As part of Mental Health Week, an open house was held at the North Bay Hospital's King Street location today to showcase the services it offers. Several programs and services are run out of this building, from early psychosis intervention, day and evening addictions treatment, outpatient psychiatry, and more. Mental Health Week's theme is about stronger connections and better mental health. Officials say the open house highlights the foundation of connecting community members with the services they need.
We do have a partnership, a peer support partnership that I've learned today. And peer support is really valuable to complement a lot of the mental health and addiction services in the community.
We've doubled our individuals served year over year in our residential bedded program here, and ultimately we're servicing individuals who are looking at recovery from addictions in the community.
And anyone can access crisis assistance or intervention. The program is available 24/7 through a phone call. It's anonymous and clients will be directed to the appropriate service, whether that is at the clinic or the hospital's main site. And Public Health Sudbury Districts has just issued a boil water advisory for Sudbury, New Sudbury, and Falconbridge. This is after adverse water samples were reported today. The city is taking additional samples from the David Street and Falconbridge water treatment plants. Public Health will provide updates as they become available. Meanwhile, residents in affected areas are not to use tap water for anything consumable. Outlying areas like Coppercliff, Coniston, Chelmsford, and others are not affected. Visit Public Health's website for more information. Their quest for the Stanley Cup continues. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. The Montreal Canadiens are in Buffalo to take on the Sabres in round 2 of the NHL playoffs. A satellite built by Canadian students is now in space after a successful launch over the weekend. CTV Edmonton's Alicia Fieldberg met with some of the students.
And liftoff of Falcon 9.
As this SpaceX rocket launches, a group of University of Calgary students gathers to witness a satellite they built release into space.
It feels so surreal. Hitting all of our milestones has been really, really rewarding.
And it wasn't a school project, but an idea created by students.
Their project, their desire, their inspiration, and their motivation to be the people that launched Calgary's first student-built and designed satellite.
The satellite, roughly the size of a loaf of bread, is now orbiting Earth, communicating through the antenna at the Rothney Astrophysical Observatory.
This is where the real action is. It feels, without being able to communicate with it, you're basically just flying a brick. So being able to kind of contribute to getting that information and starting this new phase of the satellite is really exciting.
It's moving. Yeah. Through the next 3 years, the students will be working here, collecting data for research.
It's a lot of really exciting firsts for the team, and getting to see all of the work kind of culminate at this stage is quite rewarding.
About 100 students, mostly undergraduates, have been involved since Calgary to Space started in 2020. And some are surprised when they add up all the free time they've spent working on it.
I'm going to throw 500 hours. Oh! Okay! Over 2,000 hours.
So it was really exciting to see such a project being undertaken by students and to be able to contribute to it.
The team hopes FrontierSat shows others what you can achieve when you set your sights high.
I hope people will feel inspired, feel ready to kind of take on new opportunities.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Access to drinking water could be the key to turning short trips to the moon into a permanent human presence. And a Canadian company's award-winning invention is making colonizing Earth's natural satellite more realistic. Canadian Strategic Missions Corporation won a competition in April for its Luna Pure invention. The Canadian Space Agency asked companies to develop technology that can extract and purify water on the moon, with NASA's Artemis program aiming for a 2028 crewed landing and a future lunar base. Water access is seen as a key to longer stays on the moon. Montreal is gripped by hockey fever. The Habs have moved on to the next round of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Buffalo Sabres, and the city's pro-women's team is shooting for the history books. CTV Geneviève Beauchemin has more on the fan frenzy.
Montrealers have painted the town bleu, blanc, rouge for the Canadiens. Hockey fever on display on the streets, in stores and restaurants. At Renzo's, a popular sandwich shop in the city's Myland neighborhood, Buffalo Chicken has been ruled offside, wiped off the menu as the Habs prepare for puck drop Wednesday against the Buffalo Sabres for second-round playoff action.
As the Canadian will do, wanted to erase Buffalo.
Full slice, my friend. Habs fans say this is a particularly fun team to watch, with several young players on the roster and a popular coach, former NHL player Martin Saint-Louis, leading with heart and passion.
Good pressure in front by Montreal.
La Victoire's devoted fans, too, are proudly waving their flag as the team is also on a playoff run. Both teams extending the season, well, that's good for business in bars and restaurants. But most of all, say many Montrealers, it's good for the soul.
People are excited. They're excited to look at the game, to talk about the game, to organize their lives around the playoffs. It's great.
After all, hockey is a religion in this city, something even these fans from abroad noted.
Go out!
They're from Slovakia, here for a hockey tournament and to see one of their own, Canadiens player Gerard Slavkovsky, take to the ice.
Unbelievable that the hockey center is right in the middle of town.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's at the center of our hearts.
That's the church. That's the church of Montreal.
And on game day, there are Habs sweaters just about everywhere on the streets, in workplaces, and in schools. And when the game is on, it seems as though most of the city just stops to watch. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
And the Montreal Victoire played a grueling Game 2 last night in their semifinal series against the Minnesota Frost. Captain Marie-Philippe Poulin would score the only goal of the game 4 minutes into the third period of overtime. That best-of-5 series is tied at 1 apiece. The men from Montreal face off against the Buffalo Sabres tonight for Game 1 of the second round.
It comes down to one bouncing ball.
12. The
number
12.
The number 12, the Toronto Maple Leafs have won the NHL Draft Lottery.
Montrealers aren't the only ones smiling. Leafs great Matt Sundin smiling ear to ear. One day after being named the team's new senior executive advisor, the team only had an 8.5% chance of landing the top pick. It's the third time in franchise history they've had the first overall pick. They selected Wendell Clark in 1985 and Austin Matthews in 2016. And Detroit will be getting a new hockey team this fall. The Motor City has been selected to be the next expansion team for the PWHL. Detroit has hosted a neutral site takeover tour game with attendance close to 16,000 this year. The league also announced Detroit will also host this year's draft and awards ceremony in mid-June. Expansion of the league will continue before the start of next season, with 2 to 4 more markets expected to be announced. American media mogul and founder of CNN, Ted Turner, has died. Turner Enterprises announced the news today, saying Turner died peacefully, surrounded by family. The Atlanta businessman and philanthropist built a media empire that included cable channels and sports teams like the Atlanta Braves. He was also an avid environmentalist. Turner had been battling Lewy body dementia in recent years. He was 87. Movie, music, and streaming news now. Here's David Daniel with tonight's Hollywood Minute.
Let me teach you this. This is how you open an oyster. I ate these in France when I was a kid. I said they taste like the future.
Dominic Sessa plays a 19-year-old Anthony Bourdain, making his way through the unexpected summer that would change his life in Tony. Emilia Jones and Antonio Banderas also star. This is the first trailer for the drama, which is due in theaters this August. Shopping for more Kacey Musgraves music? Fans who purchase the digital version of her new album Middle of Nowhere on her official website or iTunes will get 2 bonus songs, All My Exes, Kacey's version, and Caballero. Musgraves' tour in support of the album launches August 21st.
This is our last chance. The only thing we have left is hope.
The series finale of The Boys is headed to theaters. Fans can reserve seats for the May 19th screenings by buying concession vouchers good that day. It'll screen in 4DX theaters, which use motion-enabled chairs and environmental effects. Amazon says fans will feel every deafening blast and shocking twist. Racing for Impact in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The U.S. is feeling the effects of Canadians refusing to buy American liquor. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez has more.
The U.S. Distilled Spirits Council says exports fell almost 4% last year, and that's led to job losses in the industry. About 1,000 jobs were lost at American distilleries between September of 2024 and September of 2025. The council says spirit sales to Canada were down 63% in 2025. Some provinces pulled American products off shelves in response to Washington's tariffs. And now the EU is threatening to tariff liquor products from the U.S. this summer. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.34. West Texas Intermediate down over $7 to 95.08. Western Canadian Select down over $3 to 80.87. And the TSX spiked 414 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $147.08, closing the day at $46.9671 U.S. an ounce. Silver up $4.69 to end the day at $77.46. Copper moved forward 12 cents to $6.01, and nickel down 17 cents, ending the day at $8.62 U.S. a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Thursday weather.
Here comes the sleet. Showers, flurries over the course of the next couple of days. Greater Sudbury 7 tomorrow. Chance of sleet in Timmins at 6. 7, Sault Ste. Marie, chance of showers in the forecast. And again, that's pretty well the story until Mother's Day. North Bay, chance of sleet at 40%, 7 degrees. 10 in Parry Sound, partly sunny. And Temiskaming Shores, chance of sleet at 60%, 7 degrees. Tony, lots of sleet, showers, flurries, and nuisance weather over the course of the next couple of days. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. And finally tonight, we head north of Cochrane to check out this incredible scene. A stunning display captured on camera of an iconic northern landmark. Check out this view taken a few weeks ago of a rainbow stretching across the Abitibi Canyon north of Cochrane. It is a remarkable look at the raw power and beauty of the north, all caught in one perfect shot. And folks, thanks for watching CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Amanda Hicks. Good night.